That engine is in that plane. YouTube, I'm cold. Well, we're gonna do some test flying today. I got some stuff to test on the plane, but look at that. Another Phazer has arrived. Okay, so I know it's been a little while since we've flown this. The weather has been crazy, and this is like the only chance I had to fly. Look at that windsock right now. That looks pretty good. It's about 27 degrees, but we're gonna send it anyway. So did a few things. I built this back seat pan. What else did we do? Got some resistors up there for the hand warmer codes, and I have a different radiator on there right now because of some hanger rash. That's actually an Apex radiator that seems to work good enough for when it's cold out, probably not in the summer. And then also I've put in some reinforcements for this engine that I found online how they do. These bars right here that go up and tie into the engine mount, and these ones in the back that go all the way up and tie into the rear engine plates there. So that should make this extra sturdy with the extra power, and why not, you know? That's what they do with the 582. So this is kind of a 582 replacement on steroids. So we went ahead and did that. Another thing I was hoping to have on here is bigger tires by now. I had these rims, you remember, and I machined up adapters and put the discs on them and everything, but my tires have been back ordered for like a month. They're not supposed to ship until like Christmas, which is next week. Actually, today is the 17th. 117 years ago today, the Wright brothers made their first powered flight. I think it was like 12 seconds long. So here I am, 117 years later, about to fly a home-built airplane out of my backyard. So props to them. So like I said, I have another Phazer donor sled here, but I already have a Phazer on this plane. I actually like this engine so much on this plane that we've decided to put one in the Kit Fox 4 that my friend and I own together. And I hope it's going to be a nice upgrade. It seems that this engine is like the perfect 582 replacement with more power, less fuel burn, and you know, just an updated thing. So this sled I bought locally, and it's got like 2,000 miles on it, and it's going to be the donor sled for the Kit Fox. But hey, why not enjoy it a little bit before we take it apart? We just need a little more snow. This is about the most snow we had so far. Usually we don't get good snow. January, February is snow time in Michigan, but you know, you can see I did ride it a little bit in the dusting we got, but won't be doing that too much. All right, well, we're all assembled, pre-flighted, ready to go. Weather's, you know, overcast, but no wind at all right now. It's about 9 in the morning. And the main reason for this flight, I have been flying this thing about 5 hours in with this engine. And the main thing I wanted to check today, because flying days are so few and far between, is I developed a module that interfaces with the OEM speed sensor input on the engine and ECU to display airspeed on the snowmobile display. And I'm also making one that does GPS ground speed. That's almost done. But this will be the first flight with this. I have no idea if it's going to be accurate. So I need to actually fly it and see if I need to calibrate it, see if it even works. Kind of bench test works, but you know, until you fly it, you don't know. So let's get up there and try that and see what's going on. Okay, let's fire this baby up. This is why I like fuel injection. It's about 28 degrees out. Turn the key on down here, let it prime, start her up. Boom, this runs. Alright, you can see that the temperature light is on. and it does that because it's too cold. There it goes. It's already above the temperature where you're supposed to start driving the snowmobile, and had a little bit of heat in it because I did move it out here from my barn there. So we'll let it warm up until it idles down. Seems to want to idle around 2800 when it's really cold, and then it will get down close to the 2000 when it's all the way warmed up. Yeah, so you can see that my module, it actually is showing 1 mile per hour right now. And I kind of set it up for now that that's like the lowest it goes. It doesn't go to 0, it goes to 1, just to keep rid of the code that kept popping up. So we'll see if any codes pop up on this flight, because I should have everything sorted. And it would be cool to see if this airspeed is matching my mechanical airspeed readout, because like I said, I don't know if this is going to be accurate, if it's even going to work in flight. I mean, it will work, it's just a matter of getting the code right, and I had to hire a really talented programmer dude to help me with that, because it's beyond me. Like, you know, putting the physical parts together is no problem, but as far as the coding, man, it's like a whole different world. So this guy's really smart, and he's figured it out, and we almost got the GPS version working now too. So if anyone's interested, I think this is going to work for the Phazer, the Apex, or the Nitro, like any of the Yamaha sleds. They all have the same speed sensor. I've only tested it on the Phazer, obviously, but I want to test it on the other models as well. But if anyone else is flying with this gauge cluster, you know, basically the stock sled cluster on your dash like I am, it'd be an option to have either airspeed or ground speed displayed instead of just a 0. So I think it's kind of cool. I know a lot of guys are using like different engine management systems and stuff, but if you're not, you know, maybe I could make you one of these, and you could have your airspeed on the dash like this. I'm gonna move over here. Hey, look, the speed's moving around. That's cool. Huh, seems to be working pretty good. I wonder how accurate it's gonna be. So far it seems pretty close to what my ground speed said on Phazer here on this app. Alright. Alright, so now you can see it wants to idle around 1900. Sounds nice. Everything's good. Wind is good. We got like maybe 1 mile per hour out of the south, so we're going to go down here, turn around, and take off the normal way. Alright, she feels good. All right. Check, check, check. All right, we are recording. Get my app working again here. There we go. I got a big glove on for my throttle hand because it's outside the windshield, and I got a thinner glove on for my flying hand. It's going to be cold. This probably isn't going to last very long, but I just want to do some testing. And I got some other flight footage I've been accumulating over the past month or so since the last video. I can throw in this video too. But this will be cool for testing, so let's get up there. Alright, controls are free and correct. Everything looks good, camera's rolling. Alright, let's do it. Alright, so my airspeed's showing about 50, and my cluster is showing 49, so that's pretty dang close. Who knows which one is actually accurate. My ground speed is 44, that's probably just the wind. So far that seems to be working pretty good. Pretty hazy up here. Probably if I went up a little bit, it would be real hazy. But anyway, feels pretty smooth. So there's let's see, 7,300 RPMs, and I'm cruising about 50-ish. Let's bump it up. See, I'm still climbing a little bit. There's 8 grand, it's about 60. Wow, that speedo's working really good. I'm really happy with that. So we're about 500 foot. It's actually not bad up here now that I bundled up. Don't mind this messed up spot in the windshield. I tried to form the windshield with some heat and overheated it there and tried to sand it out and made it worse. So I'll replace that soon. So the airspeed thing is working pretty good. I don't know what's going to be more useful is airspeed on that, since most people are going to have an airspeed already, or they have a ground speed there, which is what I think would be cool. That's probably what I'm going to end up using, but I guess if anyone else wants one of these, you could get either one from me. So I figured at least a few people would want them, and so I got it set up to where I can build a few of them. My VSI is all messed up on the Aver app for some reason. I don't know if it's the cloud cover, the GPSs, or what. I was going to try to do some climb tests, but I guess that's not going to work today. Alright, let's do some slower flight. See what the speedo does. So 45 and 45, that's matching perfectly. Let's get down to 40. There's about 40. So maybe it's a few miles per hour high. Okay. No, man, it seems to be working pretty good for a secondary display. All right, let's do a first landing and a little bit of snow. This might be one of my last flights for this year in this thing because I already have a full windshield for the Firefly and skis. And I don't know if I want to go through the headache of redoing all that for this plane. But I'll probably be able to fly it still with bigger wheels on it somewhat. But I'll be flying the Firefly probably after this video. Or the Kit Fox because it's warmest. Actually has heat. Alright, so I'm just going to pay attention to landing here and we'll see how the digital readout works when I look at the video later, so I just pay attention to what I'm doing here. Alright, I'm pretty high. And this thing flies good. And let's see how short we can get it. Ooh, that was a little rough, but man, if my brakes actually worked good, which they don't, that was probably, man, I would say 150 feet. Alright, I'm gonna turn the camera off, then reset it so I don't lose any footage. Okay, so initial test of my little device, which is just kind of taped up behind my panel right now, temporarily. It was a great success. I'm pretty happy with that. And it's kind of funny because it will rack up the miles on the cluster too by your airspeed or ground speed, depending which one I use, which I think I'm going to use the ground speed one, but this is pretty good for the first test. I mean, I don't know how much more I have to do with it. Alright, let's see if we can do a nice short takeoff in this cold, dense air. Okay. Everything looks good. Here we go. Wow. It's funny because I can just throttle back like right away, unless you want to climb like crazy, which I don't always need to do. Most of the time I'm 7 to 8,000 it seems flying around. Oh, there's some turbulence. Yeah, so the speedo is working pretty dang good. Speed it up a little bit. There's 65. Okay, so at 65 it wanted to jump to 70, but below 65 it seems pretty good. Yeah, maybe that's pretty good. I don't even know if I want to mess with it. I wouldn't use that as your primary airspeed, but for a secondary display it's kind of cool. I think the ground speed one would be more useful, just to have that speed displayed instead of just replicating what your mechanical gauge would show. And there's like a bajillion geese on this frozen lake with a little opening right next to the goose blind. It's funny. Oh man, I am cold. My forehead is frozen. That wind is hitting me directly on the top of my head. So I think I'm gonna call this a success with this airspeed test. Put this away, and then the next video is probably going to be snow flying and landing on frozen lakes and fun stuff with the Firefly on ice, which last year we never got good ice, so this year hopefully we do. So that'll be fun. And yeah, so let's get this baby on the ground and call it a success. All right. Man, this thing just runs so good. I love this engine. I wonder if I can see my takeoff. Oh man, you totally can. So look, here's my first marks from here. So that's about 150 feet, my first one, and then my second one was even shorter, probably 100 foot. That's amazing, and I'm not even really pushing it. I don't have my big tires on to get the big angle of attack. I don't have VGs on this thing yet. This thing's gonna be a monster for Stoll. It's gonna be like a Stoll king. But anyway, I'm gonna put this thing away and go warm up and probably edit a video together for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more flying stuff over the winter and beyond. See you next time. Whew!